What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another World of Tanks gameplay commentary. Ooh, as you can tell, the replay file wasn't working quite right. Getting tongue-tied. Anyway, you know what I mean. Quite right. Yes, that. Anyway, this is a replay from Prodigy, another member of the SVK2 clan, and his T34. And it is an encounter battle on Himmelsdorf. Now, they are even in tier 8s, they are even in tier 7s, and, well, actually, I take that back. Prodigy's team has one extra tier 7, 2 scouts make up for that difference. Nope, apparently not. So his team just has a slight advantage. So, yeah, but nothing too significant, I would assume. I mean, looking at the tanks, it does seem like a fair fight. That T28 prototype on Prodigy's team will provide something of a difficulty for the enemy. And, well, I just realized I forgot to go with all the settings, but it's nothing too significant, right? Right? Let's change that right now. I'm sorry, guys, but I really should have taken care of this beforehand. I just was not thinking. And I'm not one to just go, you know, stop in the middle of a replay. So now you get to see all the settings I prefer for my commentaries, if you couldn't have figured those out before. And there we go. Replay resumed. There is quite a force down in that little alleyway to the, well, just beneath the castle. So Prodigy's team does have a significant tank force there that should be able to stop it. And the enemy seemingly not sending that much to the hill. Nope. Not that much at all. Prodigy's team should be able to handle this with very little difficulty. There goes another tank up on the hill, and that is definitely their strongest push down there in that little death alleyway. Prodigy's team, though, like I said, does seem to have a significant force there as well, and they are very soon going to take the hill. Certainly, this is definitely not favoring the enemy team. And this is the strategy I prefer for encounter battles. Take the hill first, make sure that enemy is not coming down around you. And yes, there's that slight glitch there with that little ram, as you just saw with that T34, not allowing him to quite easily target. I'm not quite sure what goes on there, but certainly it is distracting at the very least. And like I said, this is my favorite strategy for the encounter battle on Himmelsdorf. Take the hill, make sure you secure that high ground, and then you come back around, go for the capture point if necessary. But at that point, you have a pretty decent flanking position for the enemy team. Now, the enemy certainly pushed through that alleyway a little easier than expected. This VK2801 certainly going to get himself killed. And oh gosh, oh no! Cannot believe he just did that. But he got the kill on the VK2801. He might be stuck. Yep, he's stuck. Certainly not that favorable, but his team is winning enough by this point, 6-2. And they are also but the enemy is capturing. I was gonna say his team was capturing, but apparently I was mistaken. Fatigue does that. It is currently 5 o'clock in the morning. Nope, almost 6 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, that happens. So forgive me for any slips of the tongue. The enemy team still not making up that tank difference, still down by 4 tanks, up 3 tanks. So maybe able to come back from behind here. I can definitely see why Prodigy sent in this replay. And that LKMX just... okay, people, if you see someone who is stuck, you don't... Typically, it's not a good idea to do what they did. I'm just saying, be observant of people who are in a very bad position and don't mimic their actions. I'm just saying that Elk should have realized the T34 Prodigy was stuck and couldn't move, and realized it wasn't such a good idea to, oh, I don't know, drive off a cliff. Just saying. Still, Prodigy's team has a very good shot of winning this. Still up by 3 tanks, now up by 4 tanks. That T28 prototype, like I said, it is quite the force to be reckoned with. It is nearly as difficult to penetrate, if not just as difficult to penetrate as the T28. It has a slightly slower rate of fire, so not quite as powerful in terms of damage. But there we go, up by 5 tanks. Yeah, the enemy team really has no chance at this point. I mean, that's just my perception. Typically, when you see a team down by 5 tanks, they do not have a snowball's chance in hell. Now, the enemy team certainly looking to put up a fight here, regrouping near that train station up to the north. And there goes the enemy artillery to a T-43. The enemy possibly able to at least put up a decent fight if Prodigy's team exercises some common sense here. That T-43, certainly, it was, I don't know if it was worth it to kill that artillery to just get himself in that position where he was surrounded by the last remaining enemy heavy tanks. That IS-3 certainly causing some issues with 2 kills. That KV-5 is going to be hard to penetrate. And the KV-5 getting a kill on that Type 59, which also had him, which also drove himself in a bad position where he was surrounded on all sides by the enemy. Now, hopefully, the rest of Prodigy's team can coordinate themselves well enough to where they can eliminate these last remaining 4 tanks. But right now, his team has 6 tanks, more effectively 5 tanks against 4. And there goes the Tiger 2 to that IS-3, so the gap closing even further. And this T-28 making the smart choice to not drive off the cliff, or maybe he is. He's backing up for some reason, and I'm not quite sure what he's thinking at this point. Maybe support the team from the hill? I certainly hope that's what he's thinking, and please to God do not drive off the cliff. Don't. No! 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 Okay, remember what I said earlier? Oh, whew. For a second, I thought we were going to have a second dumbass on our hands. Now, I'm not calling Prodigy a dumbass. There was no one down here to warn him. The T-28, on the other hand, sees the T-34, and he should know better. I'm just saying. But, for a second, oh God, he's thinking about it. He is thinking about it. The enemy team on the capture point and kind of forcing a loss by capture. Hopefully they get greedy and come over to Prodigy, and then Prodigy can actually... Wait, can Prodigy do something from here? He can. He's going to look to eliminate that KV-5 since the T-150 is no longer spotted, and he gets a shot off. So the enemy driving into his crosshairs. How very convenient. The T-28 prototype proving again just how potent it is. There we go. Prodigy getting the kill on the T-150. And now we have 2 enemy tanks left. An IS-3 and a KV-3. That IS-3... Oh, God. T-28. What did I just say? At least he's not stuck. But will he drive off to his doom? We'll see very shortly. Now this IS-3... 4 kills. Looking to get top gun at this point. This T-28 possibly about to drive to his death. Oh, so very close to his death. Okay, now we all know, everyone who's seen this video knows how horrible of an idea it is to drive off this cliff. It does not end well. Now the KV-3 getting himself killed by that VK-3601, getting himself killed by a lower tier, lighter tank, kind of embarrassing. And this IS-3 definitely will be able, yep, there we go. I was just going to say, he's definitely going to be able to kill that 3601H. And the T-28 prototype, if he can get himself unstuck, is most likely going to die to that IS-3. Prodigy looking to try and get himself unstuck yet again. And yes, there goes that low. He was just a simple 1 shot away from dying to that IS-3. Did that IS-3 take a hit? You can't tell. It looks like no, not really. So Prodigy's team going from having this in the bag, the IS-3 with 6 kills. Yes, that was the derp. Certainly getting himself top gun at this point and looking to get an invader as well. Prodigy's got to get himself unstuck, and he's got to do it fast if he's going to want to win this for his team. Or maybe just bait the IS-6. I did it again. The IS-3. See, at this point with 8.0, Radley Walters medal has been installed. That means if you get 8 or 9 kills, you get a nice little medal. And the IS-6 may just very well think to himself, I want that medal after he kills this T-28. Now, we'll see if that happens. The T-28, like I said, is pretty hard to penetrate from the front. So the IS-3 didn't mess it up that time. He may not be able to get through its frontal armor, especially if he isn't aware of the weak points, and basically just bounce some shells off it while the T-28 prototype finishes him off. It's conceivable, but in my opinion, not likely. The IS-3, I am almost certain, has the BL-9, making it a pretty strong gun. just in terms of penetration. I believe it has 225 penetration, and that makes it definitely capable of getting through the T28 prototype, which is slowly moving through the town towards the capture point. Now we'll see exactly when he spots that IS-3, if he'll even be able to shoot it once, which hopefully he will be able to soften it up just a little bit for our friend Prodigy here, who is simply stuck. It has 779 hit points, which means it is most likely a 2-shot, possibly a 3-shot, but very unlikely that it would be 3 shots for our friend Prodigy. But it's looking like he's going to get a nice even kill on that T28 prototype before the T28 can do a single thing. Is that going to happen? I'm saying yes. Yep, there it goes. So now the IS-3, he looks like he's moving back towards the capture point. Come on, Prodigy, you got to get yourself unstuck here. It's really your team's only hope. And I wonder if any of your teammates have stuck around, and if they have, they aren't typing to you, or maybe they are. Maybe that's just another glitch in the replay, that you can't see messages. 8.0 replays aren't exactly 100% compatible with 8.1, and 8.2 should be coming out shortly, so that's going to just further complicate things. Yeah, there we go. The IS-3 getting right back on the capture point. Come on, buddy, it's up to you. You've got to get your tank off this stuck little hill. That's really your only hope. Come on. Now, with 8.0, Bolter's Metal has been uninstalled, so that IS-7 will only get Top Gun. Ooh, there we go. There we go. The IS-7 probably being told by his team just exactly where Prodigy is stuck. That's a guess. His team probably said, no, go for the kill. It'll be easy. You know, he's stuck. He can't do anything. Apparently, Prodigy getting himself a little unstuck, maybe? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Maybe not. But that IS-3 perhaps getting a little greedy with kills here. And honestly, I would have just taken the invader, you know, who? Actually, that's a good question. How much is the capture rate slowed down on the encounter battle capture? Because if it was slowed down enough, he might not have enough time. Just saying, it's a possibility. You do capture at a slower rate in encounter battles. That is a factor to consider, and maybe that IS-3 thought he didn't have the time to capture the base. Maybe he did the math in his head really quick. One capture point every 3 or 4 seconds, maybe one capture point every 5 seconds. And he said, well, that equals 500 seconds, which equals however many minutes, and I don't have the time. I have to go find this guy. But I don't know. Off the top of my head, I have actually not learned how fast you capture in an encounter battle. If I had to guess, I'd say it's one capture point every 3 seconds. Therefore, when you have 3 tanks on the cap, which is the maximum capture rate you can have in any battle form, that's one capture point a second. So that would make it approximately 300 seconds, which would make it, yeah, approximately just 5 minutes to capture it by yourself. He didn't have the time. Unfortunate, isn't it? So that T28 prototype did something very useful. He got that enemy off that capture point because he no longer has the time to capture. So it might turn into a brawl here, but I'm guessing we're just gonna sit here and not see anything happen for the rest of the match. Now, he is ready. He is certainly ready to fight this IS-3, who is searching all over the map for the one mysterious and elusive T34. But it's probably not going to turn into a brawl. It's just going to turn into a loss by... Oh, nope, he found him. He found him. Now, the IS-3, let's see if he does. No, he's not. I was curious if the IS-3 was going to just drive off the cliff. But apparently not. I was kind of hoping he would. That would make for a much more entertaining replay. But he decides to just go right at it and do a head-on-head brawl. Or maybe not. IS-3, are you going to fight this thing out, or is it going to be a draw? It's really could go either way at this point. It's kind of hard to say. IS-3, grow a pair, get some brass balls, and go for it. Now, that was a bit of a bad Russian accent, but, you know, it's just frustrating. So I guess I'll start wrapping this up, since apparently the match is over and nothing's going to happen except for a draw, unless this IS-3 grows a pair and does something. If he's driving back up the cliff to come down on the T34, he's a dumbass. Just like the T28 was a dumbass, just like the Elk was a dumbass. It's dumbassery all around. So, yeah, he's doing it. He's gonna do it. I cannot believe this. Have fun, dumbass. Oh my god. This is just, so, possibly going to die here. I don't know. He's going to get through. There we go. The IS-3 just, well, that was interesting. Certainly. I thank you, Prodigy, for sending in probably one of the most ridiculous games I have ever seen. And he did not send in any sort of post-game commentary, post-game screenshots, so there will be no breaking down of experience, which, like I said in previous videos, is fine. But certainly an interesting match to behold, even if it did get a little bit dull at parts. I have plenty of things to talk about, as we all know and just saw in this case. So, anyway, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you got a replay like Prodigy here, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email is in the description, but I will put the same disclaimer as I put on previous videos. There is a long line as it stands because I took such a long break from replays, and there were several reasons for that. But there will be a wait, so don't take it personally if it's a while before I get to replay. I'd say it's probably a month wait at best right now. So unless I continue putting out 2 replays a day, which I wouldn't hold your breath on, trust me, my life is busy. So anyway, thanks for watching. This has been Spang, and I am signing off.